Hello once again everyone, and welcome to Cruznick Sanctuary. I'm your host Cruznick X, and once again we're playing Final Fantasy XIV Endwalker. The recent patch 6.1, brought with it some new storylines. I don't know how they're going to top this. I don't know how they're going to top this, but I mean, you saw how excited I was back in the main scenario, and we did great with the Myths of the 12. But now it's time to return back to a storyline to finish it up. Well, we're finishing a storyline in these next few videos, and that is the role quest storylines for Endwalker. Yes, with the release of patch 6.1, we have received the finale of the role quest line. So, in order to do so, keep in mind you do have to do every single last role quest, from the Domain, basically every single role quest, which we have done on this stream. So we have the tank role quest for Endwalker, the healer role quests, and of course the melee, physical, and magical DPS role quests as well. So, with that being said, it is time to finally put an end to this. Let us get right down to it with the first quest, the level 90 quest, Bitter Snow. Well, if it isn't Chris, all around good egg and champion of, well, the whole world, I suppose. Word travels fast, my friend. We've heard all about your exploits defeating the blasphemies that plague the good people of Eorzea and Doma. Sadly, there are other fell beasts that yet want for slaying, but fear not, our efforts to bring them low proceed apace, and we've had naught but glad tidings from our allies. In fact, we but recently received word from the resistance forces in Borgia that the blasphemy was slain, thanks in no small part to Lord Hien's timely assistance. Perhaps the most surprising report came from Werlit, where soldiers led by the infamous Black Wolf fought alongside Ala-Megan troops for yet another hard-earned victory. Reports from Garlemald, however, suggest another blasphemy threat lurks in the snows, and we received a petition for assistance. Huh? Strange, don't you think? When the effects of the final days began to spread in earnest, we encountered a great many monsters in Garlemald, but never a blasphemy. And to make matters worse, they say the Garleans who chose to remain and rebuild have begun transforming into yet more hideous creatures. From what I understand, it was you and your comrades who brought an end to the source of the final days, is that right? Even so, it would appear its effects will linger a little while longer, until this malevolent influence on Akasa subsides. I dare say this won't be the last time we hear of such sightings. As for the blasphemy, we have reason to believe it is a great deal stronger than any we have faced thus far. Your strength and experience would prove quite valuable, if you are willing to help, of course. Is the Ilsabar contingent not capable of this? And I should certainly think so. No sooner did we receive the request from Sharlayan than they began making preparations to dispatch their forces. That said, it was clear from the first they were hoping you might also take up the hunt. Though, if I may be frank, I was not expecting Sharlayan of all places to be so concerned with the present state of Garlemald. What with their strict policies on non-intervention. Perhaps we'll find out the reason before this is all over. But that's an inquiry for another time. I'll not keep you any longer. Once you arrive in Garlemald, I should think the intelligence officer stationed there will be more than happy to apprise you of the situation. Alright, for this quest, we're going to be running as a healer, and we're going to be running as my current favorite healer, Sage. So let's get Let's get moving. Where are we going, Garlemald? Right, Camp Broken Glass. It's a good thing that I replenished some of my gil before doing this. Alright, we're back here. There's the intelligence.
Chris? The Chris? It's an honor to have you with us, sir. I presume you're come to assist in our hunt for blasphemy.
Yep.
Maxima and Lucia will be pleased to hear it. If you would come this way.
Hey guys, hope you haven't missed me too much.
It's good to see you, Chris. Though I wish it were under more fortuitous circumstances.
We were reluctant to call upon you, knowing you but recently returned from the far reaches of the heavens, but we are no less glad for your aid. Now then, I believe it best if the man who first discovered this blasphemy explained the situation.
Wait. Fortunald? Ah, Chris. Good. We may forego introductions then. Thank you for answering our call for assistance. As for the situation at hand, it concerns a joint effort between the Forum and the Loperids to find new purpose for the moon. While there is no longer need for a vessel to evacuate this star, we believe the moon may yet prove of use to the people of Etheris. After much contemplation, a rather ingenious proposal was put forward. To transform the moon into a repository for man's knowledge, an archive of hitherto unseen scale. Sharlayan has long had the honor of boasting incomparable repositories of the world's knowledge, but it is far from perfect. Should calamity befall us, natural or otherwise, the wisdom of ages we have long labored to preserve would be lost. But the moon is beyond any such risk. What's more, it is beyond the jurisdiction of any one nation. Thus did we consult the allied nations of Eorzea, the Far East, and Ratatan. They agreed to assembling a survey team to take measure of the moon and its potential as a repository.
Well, that's good.
Our plans for assessment were forestalled, however, by the presence of an entity we believe to be a blasphemy in the Tower of Babel. Claims of Garlean citizens transforming into monsters shortly after its discovery only gave further credence to our initial supposition.
But we've not only ill tidings to share. Reinforcements have been dispatched to aid us in quelling the blasphemy threat.
Lord Otwarel and a number of Gridania's keepers of the entwined serpents have already begun an investigation into the catalyst of these transformations. Though the skies no longer burn and spread of this affliction is much curtailed, we must remain vigilant. Until the blasphemy threat has been quelled, Alphino and Alice have graciously offered to help keep calm the people of Tertium while we attend to the people here.
Well, that's good. But the matter of the blasphemy is not so easily resolved, I am afraid. We recently met with certain complications that have hindered our plans. Yugiri and Fordola are presently deliberating how best to resolve the situation. Perhaps it would be best if you heard the details directly from them.
I should like to join you, if I may. This endeavor was originally undertaken on Sharlayan's behalf. As this endeavor was originally undertaken on Sharlayan's behalf, I feel it is my responsibility to see this through to its conclusion.
Okay.
Alright, where to? Ah, there we go. Yugiri, Fordola, long time no see.
I did not expect to see you here of all places, but I am no less glad for your presence. I presume word of the blasphemy is what brought you here. In which case, I believe it may be best if a member of the reconnaissance team's guard explained the situation.
Well, an acquaintance of yours. Long time no see, Lawrence. I heard tell you were the wordless sort, but bugger me if I knew where you heard my name before. I'm just a lowly sword for hire, hoping to fatten my purse with a touch of mercenary work after taking my leave from Limsa. The job sounded simple enough, but, well, I'm sure you wouldn't be here if it were, eh? But you didn't come all this way to hear about me, did you? The blasphemy we're after is making its nest in the upper reaches of the Tower of Babel. The auxiliary sector, I believe it was. But it wasn't alone. A sizable horde of beasts were circling about like knights protecting their queen. Naturally, we thought to strike them from a distance before engaging in earnest, but not a single bullet reaches its mark. They were protected by some manner of mystical shroud as far as I could figure. Without a keen eye for magic, I don't see anyone getting through. By the time we understood the futility of the situation, we'd been spotted. Retreat was our only option. Pains me to say it, but there won't be any brute forcing our way through this one. My understanding was that, once transformed, these blasphemies are completely devoid of ether. With what energies could it create such a barrier? That's the question, isn't it? My first thought was some heretofore unknown technique for conjuring shields. Needless to say, I'm out of my depth when it comes to matters of magic. Which is precisely why I plan to speak with the Elder Seedseer when she arrives. If anyone can help us find a way to overcome the blasphemy's protection, it's her. In the meantime, could we trouble you to help with the not-so-small matter of people changing into beasts? The blasphemy's horde was large enough when we first found it. I can't afford for more to join its ranks. Very well. We shall reconvene with Lord Otwell and discuss strategy. Before you go, there's something else you should know about the tower. From the moment we set foot inside, I could swear there was someone or something watching us. I shrugged it off. I shrugged it off, thinking it was a figment of my imagination, but in hindsight, I'm not so sure. Alright. Nothing to worry ourselves about now, but best keep on your guard when we do finally return to the tower, eh? Alright. Let's find Otwarel and see what we can get into. Hello, Otwell. Ah, Chris. 'Tis good to have you with us, my friend. Indeed, the road before us is not an easy one, and a man of your talents will prove invaluable to our efforts. We but recently returned from reconnaissance, wherein we made a few rather surprising discoveries. First and foremost, we were pleased to discover that no one residing within Camp Broken Glass or Tertium has returned. No doubt, thanks to the concerted efforts of Maxima, Alfino, and Alice. However, we have reason to believe those who did turn all hail from Locus Amoenus. You mean Corvos, the Garleans' ancestral home? The very same. When the ill effects of the final days began to manifest there, A number of Gallian refugees from the region sought sanctuary in Garlemald, but the capital was already in ruins when they arrived. They were offered asylum, but many refused and instead chose to fend for themselves on the outskirts of the city. We are of a mind to go and speak with them directly, if you would care to join us. Perhaps together we can learn what of their recent circumstances has triggered such terrible change among their people.
Well, we will do that in the next quest. Shame we didn't get to use Sage that much. Next, we will be using a magical DPS, and I think I will change to my summoner just for the fun of it. Anyway, if you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. If you're watching on YouTube and you like this video, click the follow button. Be sure... Oh, you know what? Let me try this again. If you're watching on Twitch, stay tuned. But if you haven't followed me yet, be sure to follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/CruiseNickX. And if you're feeling generous, feel free to subscribe for access to exclusive videos and live streams, or even just throw some bits our way. Every little bit helps in this situation. If you're watching on YouTube and you like this video, click the like button below and leave a comment. Subscribe to the channel by clicking here and click the bell icon for notifications. Click here to watch more, click here to watch the previous episode, and click here to watch the next one. See you next time!